All right, cool. Let's just do it. Oh, yeah, that worked. Cool. All right, yeah. Good evening, you misinformed nerds, where you think everything is going to be solved politically, but it's not. But I don't mean that in a violent way. And the only reason I'm bringing this up right now is because I had an epiphany in the shower. I think I want to bring back Blackfield because, unbeknownst to me until tonight, the Blackville and the black pill are a white pill. Not to be cliche with these old antiquated terminologies, but I had quite the epiphany. I had quite an epiphany tonight. And it all makes sense now. And I'm not going to give that to you today, but stand by because I think I'm going to bring back an old show. I'm so excited about that. Joining us tonight, as usual, is Stover. I want to start calling him Stovey. I just feel like that's more, friendly. You know, it's like, oh, that's my bud Stovey. What's going on with you tonight, bud?
That's funny you said Stovey because that used to be back in my single days. How I would know if a girl liked me, because that seems like whenever a chick had a crush on me, that she'd call me Stovey. But I
Oh,
like it more when you
Stovey.
say it. Yeah. Oh my Stovey. And then I think I got Stovey One Kenobi that for a little while, and I hated that
Oh, that
because
sucks.
yeah. But anyway, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm running behind. I was late. I had I had a lot of stuff planned, but I didn't write any of it out. I got just inundated with stuff I had to do today. I had to go to the post office and get stamps to write January 6th prisoners, write them letters and send in forms and stuff. And I was like, man, I haven't bought stamps in years, you know? So I go up to the post office. I forgot to bring them in with me. I would have showed you what I was talking about. But I go, I need a book of stamps. And the guy at the post office is a white fella. He's wearing a mask and he's behind the giant, plastic sheeting and everything. And he goes, okay, so he goes and he gets this little teeny tiny rectangular piece of paper and he hands them to me and he goes, $12 and some change or whatever. And I go, okay, whatever. And so I pay for them and I'm looking and I'm like, no, that's 8 stamps. I just paid $12 for 8 stamps. So I start texting people that are in the loop about, writing our friends in prison over January 6th. And I go, man, they're really making this difficult to mail letters to these people at these stamp gouging prices. I go, 8 stamps for $12. That's a sign of a failed state. And I'm just railing against the man, I'm like, this is just bullshit. That's $12 to get you 8 stamps. And then I'm talking to, I call a friend of mine and I'm bitching to her about it. And she goes, yeah, that sounds outrageous. She goes, usually the stamps are on both sides of that piece of paper. She goes, did you flip it over? And I go, oh shit. It's 20 stamps, which is still ridiculous. Still.
That's what's happening with me all the time is just because I think it's just an effect of the failed state that we're living in. Just the state of everything, and you get to the point where you just assume the worst. And
Yeah,
I hope that brightened your day.
it's
You're like,
inherent.
yay!
You're
You
just
feel
going
like
about you're going about life, and then you're constantly just like, oh, look at these gas prices.
yep.
Look at these egg prices. Which, by the way, somebody is suing the egg producers in this country because they in 2021, and we might pull up this article if we run out of stuff to talk about, or we'll cover it another time. In 2021, the profit for these egg conglomerates, if you will, was about $51 million. This year, with just about the same amount, slightly less egg production, the gross profit for these egg cartels, which is what they are, egg cartels, Was $500 million. So they're just price gouging. There's no shortage. There's none of that. It's crap. So well, hell, Stover's got it pulled up. Let's check it out. Look at this. Record-breaking egg profits prompt accusation of price gouging. And as I just stated to you, audience, if we read this article, which I'm all about, let's go ahead and do it. It's going to show what I said was accurate. Stover, read that article, bud.
You want me to read the article?
Well, I mean, or you can read the article or you can skip to the juicy parts, but if you don't know where those are, yeah, just plow through that article real quick.
Okay. Farmer advocacy organization says record-breaking increases in the price of eggs isn't being caused by inflation or avian flu, as claimed by egg companies, but by price collusion among the nation's top egg producers. In a letter sent to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, last week, the organization Farm Action accused the country's dominant egg producers of scheming to raise prices. What I'm going to say is, do you remember the decadence of our youth when we used to throw eggs and toilet paper at our enemies' houses or girls that we had crushes on? We used to buy like a whole life case, like one of those giant crates
You'd get the box of eggs that were meant for restaurants, and you would get the big plastic wrapped cases of toilet paper. Or if you didn't want to spend the money, you'd go to your local eatery and just steal it out of their their bathroom closet, where they keep all their supplies.
I wasn't that based. But yeah, I remember going and when you're trying to ring up and, we'd all scrounge our change together. And I bet it was like $5 for one of those cases back then. And we go up and the old lady ringing us up to be like, I know you guys are doing tonight. And we're like, yeah. Like, what do you say? Like, this is all we're buying is this case of eggs. Like
that's back when you thought that they could like do something about it, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
But I have a funny story about that. A friend of mine, a group of friends of mine went to go toilet paper somebody's tree in the front yard. Trees are the worst because it's the hardest to get out of. And a friend of mine from the high school janitorial closet stole one of those giant rolls of the toilet paper, the real big ones. And we're like, man, this is going to be so much toilet paper.
Yeah.
Go out to that tree and we throw that thing into the tree and it just goes stump and it just gets stuck. That was our only roll. Oops.
I don't know if you did this, but I know that the crew I ran with in high school, we were just little fuckers. We did shit like this all the time. Do you remember? I don't know why we did it, just to be a little shit. We'd go and just get a shit. You just roll out the toilet paper, and this is at high school. You get all the toilet paper, and you'd go to the sink, and you just get that big globby mess of fucking wet toilet paper, and then you'd go 5, 4, 3, 2, and you'd splat it on the very top of the ceiling, and you just go have fun with that, teachers.
I never did that, but I always saw the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
So you were those guys doing that.
Yeah, that was me.
Let's not leave them hanging on the egg thing, though. I just wanted to confirm that that they made $50 million 2 years ago with just about the same amount of eggs being sold as they did this year, where they made $550 million, which is insanity. Supply and demand, man. It's a free market, bro.
During the 2015 outbreak, the average price of a dozen grade A eggs doubled from $1.29 to $2.61. What is it today?
Well, first of all, back in 2015, the implications of what they're talking about is that back in 2015, avian flu affected the death of way more birds, if I'm not mistaken, than the avian flu is affecting that they're blaming on the egg shortage today. So there were more birds killed in 2015. And eggs only went up, about $1.50? And now they're as much as $7 to $9 a dozen?
Yeah, this is clearly a conspiracy. As soon as they said the avian flu, I'm like, that's a bunch of bullshit. And I've heard, like, didn't a big egg distribution center just magically burn down the other day? Did they ever did you hear about that?
Well, I don't know about that one in particular, but I know I've been, you see a story just about every week about a food processing plant going up in flames. These chicken houses, chicken manufacturing sorry, chicken processing plants uh, going up in flames. You hear about chickens having to be slaughtered in mass, excuse me, because of avian flu. These things are happening regularly. It's not just that
Yeah.
that one. They're saying it's happening all the time, and they're blaming stuff like that on just the general rise in food costs across the board, plus inflation. Which, by the way, according to our president, all that stuff is just not even a big deal anymore. Like, it basically doesn't. It's basically better than it's ever been in history, folks.
It's not even happening. What are you talking about? You love it.
Do you
Eat
see?
the bugs.
Do you see that? There it is, right there. Your mouse was just pointing at it, where it says the egg production amount and then the profit amount.
Yeah, so I guess it says it's a quote from Garden, the guy that they're, I guess, interviewing here. To increase your gross margins by 345% from the year before, while consumers are looking at least doubled egg prices. I mean, that's just theft. Egg theft.
Go
Is that the one that you were talking about, or the one before it?
no
Cal Maine
no.
also sold.
It's all important though. But go up two paragraphs because I'm seeing it now, where it says one more. Yeah, right there. The last sentence. No, down one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just read that whole thing, and that'll tell you that the 51 million to the 550 million.
Oh, I apologize.
No, you're good.
Cal Maine's gross profit jumped tenfold from one 26-week period in 2021 to the same period in 2022, according to the company's most recent quarterly financial statement. For the 26-week fiscal period ending in November 2021, gross profits were 50.4 mil. In 2022, for the same period, gross profits were 535.3 million. Wow.
There you go.
So they just
Hmm.
added a quick 100 mil on top. Wow. So it's
Now,
just
I believe the
did Nancy
definition.
Pelosi buy any stocks in any egg companies? I'm
I don't.
curious.
I don't
So
know, but I do know that the definition of a cartel is a group of people that control a product. In this case, eggs that set the prices. So now you have an egg cartel, and with those kinds of profit, I got to tell you, things are going to get violent. And that could be what is to blame for these mysterious fires and these things taking out these hen laying houses and these chicken processing plants. Now there's a lot of money on the table to control these things. Let's move on, though, now that we've made our audience aware of that, to you sent me a story about a trans swimmer that we all remember, I believe, Leah Thomas. I'll go ahead and pull up the article if you pull up the video. And
ooh.
yeah, check this out. Trans swimmer Leah Thomas dropped her pants and exposed her male genitalia. Fucking clown world here. Her male genitalia in a women's locker room after a meet. MEET. It was a meat joke, like his penis. Claims University of Kentucky athlete Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines sounds like more of a manly name than Leah Thomas. Interesting. So yeah, she claimed that.
Which video do you want? The one on the page that you're looking at right now?
Yeah,
When you're
yeah,
ready?
that's the only one I saw. So I figured I'd read this and then we'll look at her interview where hopefully that's what she's talking about. You know how these articles are. They just pull up like random videos of the people, but not what the article is talking about. So fingers crossed. Yeah, in that locker room, we turned around and there's a 6'4" biological man dropping his pants. We were exposed to male genitalia, she said. Gaines is asking the NCAA for separate locker rooms for transgender athletes. Tough shit. You're not going to get it, bigot. Look at bake the cake. Look at the cock, bigot. Yeah, former University of Kentucky. Yeah, there you go. Woman, man, man and woman. Yeah, I have a feeling we're having some technical difficulties talking and pulling up that video. But
Well, I'm looking for it, and you know how some of these websites are.
oh yeah,
Because I'm looking at the title of they don't actually tell you which one of the many videos they have. They're just a bunch of random videos of. I don't get it.
Oh, look at that
I'm
toe.
and I'm not
Jeez.
sure. I don't know if because I had issues with this last night
Hey, I
and I didn't
found
have
it.
time to figure it out.
I
You
found it.
found it?
Scroll down to where
Based.
you're past the University of Kentucky blue swimsuit and the the roast beef camel toe, and yeah, look at down one more. There's the video. I could try to play it. I just know as soon as I click it, there's got to be a stupid commercial. But here we go. I'm gonna try it anyway.
Hey guys, it's
Okay.
Riley Gaines here, former collegiate swimmer and spokeswoman at the Independent Women's Forum. I'm here in DC to hear President Biden address the state of our union. Will he address the inflation rate, the border crisis, the gender
Will he address the undressing of this dude in my locker room?
ideology propaganda being pushed to young children? I highly doubt it. But lucky for you, CPAC is coming back to DC March 1st through 4th, where the actual state of our union will be addressed.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that a
right,
dude?
guys. That's right, guys.
That's a dude.
CPAC is going to come and fix everything, just like they do every year. They just come on in. The Conservative Political Action Committee hosts its annual party, and then they just fix all the problems in the country. You know, they really just correct everything that Biden screwed up. That's right. The politicians are going to fix it. They're going to fix everything they broke any day now. No, Stover, that was the woman, the real woman, that was, fighting against this dude's wiener in her locker room.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Get your
It's
tickets
concerning me.
now at cpac.org/DC so you can hear from me and other leaders across the nation about the problems we're facing as Americans.
Oh, okay. All right. So she's been hired as a salesperson. She's now no longer an actual activist. She's a charlatan. And I don't want to be the guy to attack this woman. I didn't watch this video ahead of time. I didn't know that was going to happen. But she just wants everybody to know if you buy tickets to CPAC, that they'll fix this transgender locker room problem.
I thought we were going to talk about the locker room because I wanted to hear about that tranny doing the wang chopper right in front of her. Because
You're like, I wanted to see
no.
hidden camera footage inside that locker room. Just dick,
You know what?
just flopping about.
I'm gonna take maybe a unpopular take on this. Because I don't really trust the CPAC guys or anything. I'm wondering if that poor tranny didn't even do a wang chopper in front of that woman, and they're just lying to sell tickets.
Well, hang on. When once money is involved and then you get politics and money involved, I got to be honest with you. I don't know. You could be onto something. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest. You know?
Or they paid the tranny. They're so like just like whip it out, like whip it out and shake it a little, and then that way I have a thing to talk about, so I could shill some CPAC.
Yeah, she's like, get out and jiggle your woman wiener in
Come
front of
on,
me,
do
and
it.
I'll cut you in on some of the profits from this sweet CPAC money.
Yeah, let me see it.
Moving along, because now you know the truth about that, folks. I thought this was interesting. Oh no, what did I do? Haha, I got a mute button. I don't have to listen to your stupid music. Former FBI agents
goodness.
expected to pull back the curtains as House GOP begins exploring weaponization of government. Now, I usually see things like this. Well, I used to see things like this and go, about time. About time. They're going to just blow the lid off of this. And then I go, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they whistleblow when they were in this corrupt, tyrannical, evil, demonic organization protecting criminals like, child rapists and like actual murders and stuff? Why didn't they blow the whistle then? Were they also at the time too busy, collecting paychecks and building up their pension while
Probably.
raiding the houses of misdemeanor offenders from January 6th? Were they just too busy? And now they're going to come out and they're going to let the government know just how bad things are. And then the government's going to respond. What's the government going to do? They're going to go, you know what? That's it. I've had it. This is the last bad bit of news I could put up with from the FBI. We're defunding the FBI. They're too corrupt. They're gone. They're out of here. No. Both sides need the FBI to crush you and any resistance so do you remember, this wasn't that long ago, but a lot of people have already forgotten about it. Do you remember when the FBI was directed by Merrick Garland to start investigating and arresting parents who were uncomfortable with transsexual sex education being taught to like their kindergartners through second graders. Do you remember when the FBI persecuted those people?
Yeah, I do, and I just think it's just another cog in kind of their grand scheme of basically letting anybody know that if you speak up, you're going to jail, bigot. And that I think they're just kind of painting it with a really nice broad stroke, but kind of makes it seem like they're all separate. And with the way they're constantly rolling out all the fucking distractions, like, and with all the stupid fucking conservatives that we have out there, it's like, you throw them a bone, like the Twitter files today. We should be talking about the FBI and the DNC and the people in the White House who subverted the public and lied and created a false flag situation to win an election, to control, the our country. But instead, everyone's out there going because some gay Twitter exec's getting roasted by. And I have that video we'll play later, being roasted by some Chad. And so I'm not surprised. And I think if we actually sat there and went through and did, actually dedicated some time to research, we would find way more things than we've even heard about in the news cycles that they're doing to kind of make examples out of these poor, innocent, decent, hardworking people.
Yeah, it happens so often, and the examples are so egregious that you just they start to blur and you forget about them, and you go, well, yeah, the FBI is just messed up. But like then when you look, at a case by case basis, you're like, it's more than they're fucked up. They are evil. They are an evil organization. I mean, they also technically in my opinion, fit the definition of terrorist. They are terrorizing law-abiding citizens who want their voices heard, but are going against the condoned narrative of the United States government. And then the FBI goes in and literally terrorizes these parents. They terrorized January 6th peaceful protesters. Keep in mind that protest, despite what you hear, especially when you compare it to some other protests I won't mention, were mostly peaceful. Don't ever forget that, mostly peaceful. But these FBI agents, directed by the Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice, just start cracking skulls and just intimidating people through violence and threats of imprisonment. And you were talking about being thrown a bone. Like I got beyond the idea about halfway through Trump's presidency about getting thrown these political bones that never do anything. They never change anything.
Yeah.
It's like you said, and there's all the citizenry just still clapping like seals. Oh, good, they're going to do something. Think about this, audience. Think about this. No matter which side of the political aisle you're on, just think back to Trump. Don't even go into the Obama years. Just think back to Trump. Think of all the things, all those times, all those articles, all those statements put out by politicians and news organizations, and your political commentators from your popular YouTube shows and whatnot, all those things that were going to change, all those bombshells that dropped, they were coming every day. The change was just right around the corner. Once this person testifies, once you hear this story, once this news story comes out, and nothing ever happened. Those people did talk, those whistles did blow, those articles were published, those videos were put out there, and nothing changed, and nothing is going to change. You're stuck, and your side, whatever it may be of the political aisle, is not going to improve your life. Like, forget about it. Give up. It's not going to happen.
Not at all. And that's where I'm at is, I'll admit, like back however many years ago, I was totally subscribing to like that left-right dichotomy, the us versus them type of thing. And, but I see right through it now. And, you can only, why it's just so interesting, how the hypocrisy at every turn. I see it with the conservative Republican movement is, which I don't even know what I would call myself. Like, there's no word for it because I can't call myself a Republican anymore. and definitely am. Libertarianism's fake and gay. So we need a new movement, man. We need a new thing.
I've got one. I've got one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You know, you always hear about Brexit and Blexit and all these exits. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Except,
yeah.
I mean, I'll stop short of calling it Wexit. I'm not going to say why. But has anybody ever flirted with the idea of just getting as far outside of the cities in the system as possible? Like, has anybody out there listening ever flirted with the idea? A lot of these people have friends and family members that all think that the same thing is happening. The collapse has come. And I agree. It's a matter, we don't know how long it's going to take, but it's coming, period. The United States and its spending and its immigration and its wage stagnation is unsustainable. Your life is going to get worse, and eventually the government will spend so much money that their money's worthless. The whole system collapses, but everybody's scared of that. And I want you to really think about, if you're set up, you and your family members and all your friends that, you know, you spend all this time stockpiling, say, guns and ammo because you're freaked out for the collapse and all this scary stuff that might happen when everything falls apart. What if y'all started investing your time into researching fertile land with water sources nearby where you could buy a lot of acreage for a little bit amount of money, and then maybe you guys all go out there and you buy your own little parcels, you buy one big parcel and you legitimately split up the acreage, and you guys go out there and you raise your chickens and you garden, and, you know, you still work your job, but you're probably not going to have to make nearly as much money because you're so self-sustaining at this point. And then the collapse happens. Is it going to bother you at all? Or are you going to you're going to wind up being more happy before any collapse ever takes place, because you're out there like living what used to be a real life and not just stuck in a cubicle driving to work every day, just working for a slave wage and going broke and into debt, just making other people money from your labor and from the usurious interest rates you're paying on all your debts and loans from trying to keep up with this impossible lifestyle. Is it really that bad just to leave? Think about it. And I'll talk about that more on a future Blackfield. Go ahead, Stover, so your hand up.
Let's do it. I like this idea. How many wives can I have, though? That's where I was kind of, you didn't go into that aspect. How many?
It just, you know what, I'll be honest with you, it just depends on what type of community you live in. Who am I to make your rules, sir? Who am I to make your rules? You know, a lot of traditionalists might go, I'm not really a fan of that.
3 minimum. You're not allowed in my compound unless you have 3 wives. Minimum.
If you got 3 wives, it's no longer a compound, it's a compound. Hey, let's move on to, I wanted to get to your Twitter files. So if you want to pull that up and let me know when you're ready, I got a sweet graphic for you.
I don't think the sound's going to work on my videos on my end. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Hang on. We
have to tweak that. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
It's in you and I's in the bangers. And I literally, it's the last comment I made, and I commented on the video, so you can just follow the link from my response up.
Yeah, I got it. Let's pull it up. Is this video or just tweets?
I'll just watch the video, but and I'll lay it out. So what this is Higgins really just grilling Yoel Roth from Twitter, which is like this weird looking gay guy. Pretty sure back in the day, before I got thrown off, he was like trying to tell me things. Like, I think he had I remember this guy named Yoel Roth, or it was a sock account, who just really had a hard on for me, but I doubt it was this loser.
I thought Yoel Roth was like the head of Twitter, like security, and he was the guy that basically was the head of silencing people. Yeah,
Yoel Roth was like the FBI's favorite boy in Twitter.
Weird name too. It's kind of strange.
Well, I didn't know. I just did what I was told, and it's like, no, you wanted to do it, and you're just
you're a lying piece of shit, government colluding, narrative pushing propagandist that is silencing people against the you know, what the merit or the spirit, if you will, of the First Amendment is, hey, nobody cares anymore. Do what you want. There's not going to be consequences. So I'm going to watch your video of this oversight committee, which, by the way, if y'all have ever watched these oversight committees where they're just railing against these CEOs and tech titans, just remember at the end, nothing ever happens. They scold them, and it's all the dog and pony show because the people that they're talking down to, they're the same ones that get them elected. You're screwed. You live in an oligarchical technocracy. Don't ever forget that. But let's play this video and see if it makes everybody feel good. But before we play the video, let me play this. Please work. Please work. Please work. Here we go. It didn't. Whoa.
Election. Knowingly and willingly.
I can hear it.
That's
Hold
the
on,
bad
I'm going
news.
back.
It's going to get worse. You, ladies and gentlemen, interfered with the United States of America 2020 presidential election. You, ladies and gentlemen, interfered with the United States of America 2020.
I'm a fan of him sounding drunk. I like that. He sounds just a little slurred, and I'm like, I'm all for it, dude. Get in there, tie one on and just give it to these people.
It always blows my mind when I hear a guy with a thick accent like that, but he's like a lawyer and he's actually real smart. He's like, it's a really smart retard, but I love it. Go ahead.
This is the same guy, just judging by his bald head and his accent. That was, I'm forgetting who he was going after. Oh, he was talking about the January 6 people and the FBI having confidential informants in the crowd, and how the FBI director could neither confirm nor deny if that was true or not. Because, keep in mind, your money pays for these organizations, but you're not allowed to know what they do. And this guy, I was really proud of him for just lambasting that FBI director at the time, which, keep in mind, is a little different. Nothing's going to change, but it's a little different than them fake yelling at these CEOs. The director of the FBI is still a government employee and is fireable, as opposed to, say, Mark Zuckerberg. But I will mention
the absolutes, the facial expressions on these woke Twitter execs. That's not fake. So I mean, so they're almost getting me with that hope thing. So I'm not going to let it happen.
Where they fucked up for the first time in, as far as I know, history, is it was exposed via the Twitter files that there was collusion between the government and these companies. That's unprecedented. People, that hasn't happened before, as far as I know, especially on this much of a just massive scale. The evidence appears to be there. Again, don't hold your breath that anything's going to happen. It's not. Nothing is going to happen. But for the first time ever, as far as I know, it's being proven that the government colluded with the private company to censor people's First Amendment right. And the reason this is important is, what do all those douchebags on Twitter constantly say? Well, Twitter is a private company. Twitter's a private company. They can censor whatever they want. They were doing it at the behest of the United States government and remember this word, in collusion with the United States government. So now American taxpayer dollars are involved with funding government organizations that violate your constitutional protections, and that's a big deal. So let's get back to this video. Here we go.
20 presidential election, knowingly and willingly. That's the bad news. It's going to get worse because this is the investigation part. Later comes the arrest part.
Oh, shit.
Your attorneys are familiar with that.
I hope this guy's serious.
Me too.
Nothing's going to happen, but it's exciting. You never really hear him talk about arrests. You hear him talking about fines and sanctions and, things like that. Like, well, we're going to, hey, multi-billion-dollar company, we're going to fine you $3 million for this nonsense. That's right, bud. I don't know. Because of what I just said, they might be pretty serious about doing this. There's still a little bit left of this video. I'll wrap it up.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to spend 5 hours with these ladies and gentlemen doing depositions surely yet to come. But for right now, I'll yield the balance of my time to my colleague, Mr. Jordan.
Mr. Jordan, that's right, boy. Hey, let me tell you something. I'd like 5 minutes alone, Phil Anselmo style, and I'm going to whoop your ass. That's right.
I hear more of like a foghorn leghorn type of thing, but maybe I'm wrong because
Well,
without the stutter.
I didn't nail the accent at all. I didn't.
No, you did. You did a better job than I could, though, for sure.
But I like this guy. This is the second video I've seen of this guy. Like I said, the first one was talking about the FBI colluding once again in January 6th, where, well, I'm going to be honest, they most likely were the ones that were causing the violence and stirring people up to commit whatever crimes may or may not have happened on January 6th in order to persecute people and scare the shit out of anybody that might think about speaking out against the American corrupt government and their, in my opinion, rigged elections. And I know that's a cliche term, but something was going on. There's no denying it. And you're just not allowed to talk about it. Like all those other things in history, they just sweep it under the rug. And if you talk about it, you're the crazy conspiracy theorist. That's right. Stover, did you, we hit the 30-minute mark, so I think we're good. Did you have anything else you wanted to add on any of this stuff?
No, but, we have some comments. It looks like tonight was, YouTube
comments.
Was the place.
Yeah,
got a couple.
Speaking of YouTube, let me get this out there real quick. Big shout out to our friends, Dusty Bogan, acquaintance Gavin McInnes, for kind of helping us get the word out about our new YouTube channel. If you're new tonight, do us a favor. Like and subscribe. I hate saying that. It's so douchey. Like and subscribe. We're trying to build something here. We're built up on other places, but they're more clandestine, I guess you could call it. Very popular on Telegram. You can join us on Telegram at Murder the Media. No spaces, Telegram at Murder the Media. Join us there to see our posts and, replays. We also stream the same show on there. But thanks so much to the guys that shared this show and asked people to follow. And if you're here now from there, please stick around. The content's going to get better. This is pretty much a brand new show. We're in our second actual week right now, and I feel like we're kind of beginning to hit a stride, so it's only going to improve. If you liked what you saw today, but you go, I've seen better, just stick around for a week or two, and we'll have it nailed.
We're gonna nail it, and thanks, buds. That was nice of them.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Any little bit helps. I was thinking we should do a maybe like a Vilnomerly show. What's Ashley Madison account or a what's the other one?
I got one.
Pictures.
It's my Bill Nomerly OnlyFans, so you can subscribe.
OnlyFans.
You can subscribe.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Go put in the search bar or however it works. Go put in OnlyFans. I don't know how it works. And I don't really have one. That was just a joke to our conservative traditionalist viewers. Just a joke. I don't have an OnlyFans. I do have a Pornhub account. Another joke. I'm just kidding. What are some of these comments that are going on in YouTube? Let's focus on our YouTube viewers tonight.
Someone said no. Good girl said no swimming.
That's an inside joke from the Telegram channel that even I don't understand. It was just repeated before a party and then became part of the Telegram Murder the Media zeitgeist. By the way, little secret here, Splorf TV is Murder the Media. So we just got to be careful about YouTube. So you've probably heard of us. And if you haven't, stick around and you will. We'll tell you all of our fun stories, and I can't get too much further into that at the moment. But anyway, what are the other comments? You made it sound like there was a bunch of them.
Okay, yeah. I got excited when I saw a couple.
There was one.
Well, Kevin's always saying good shit.
Yeah, Kevin's great.
He said my name, so I want to read it. Stovey's harem. I do have a harem. So that must have been with my 3 wives.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Trace
Kevin, you're allowed in the compound.
Compound.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're allowed in the compound.
Do we want to try to read anything on Rumble, Telegram, anything like that?
Let me look at Rumble.
See, now's where I should play one of those. I don't have it yet, but I should make a comment video things like, hey, we're about to read comments.
Someone just said, Vil is looking hot tonight.
Fucking A. That's right. Hold on. I can make it better.
Oh, my gosh. I have the most awkward erection right now.
Oh, speaking of which, dude, I was so hungry earlier today. I was trying to make my way home from far, far away, and I was like, I'm not eating until I get home because I'm tired of being fat. I want to get in shape again, you know. So I've been doing like the low carb, low calorie fasting, just really going at it, you know. And I passed one of these Domino's billboards, and they're like, try our new loaded tater tots. And I was like, that's the first time a food billboard ever gave me an erection.
Here, I actually say you sent me a picture if you don't remember, but here it is.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, I was like,
It
look
does
at
look
these
good.
things. Oh man.
Look at them.
See, I'm not hungry anymore.
Woo!
This does nothing to me. I'm not phased at all.
Okay, what's fucking me up? I need some of those tots.
I can't do it anymore, dude. I can't do this Domino's. It's not even a matter of like dieting or whatever. I'm just like, no more of this slop. Some people call it rhymes with Roy slop, like a guy named Roy, only with a different first letter. And I'm like, yeah, I can't. It makes you feel gross, and it's just not good for you.
I just set that photo as my screensaver. Yes.
I was gonna say you can make that your new background. By the way, speaking of backgrounds and stuff, if you're gonna have stuff like a cat with sunglasses, let's change it up every episode so it's always different. Keep the audience guessing. But that reminds me, I was wondering. I had a question to ask you. Do you own a suit?
Yeah.
Okay, now hold on. Don't freak out. I'm thinking about putting up a poll. If Stovey should wear a suit or just continue wearing t-shirts.
Say no. Yeah, I actually have quite a number of really nice custom made like altered suits that I look fantastic in, but I don't like them.
Mine used to look fantastic and now they're tiny.
That's my old every time I put a suit on, I feel like I'm dead naming myself. Like I'm no longer that power broker guy from my late 20s, early 30s. Like
do you want to pull yourself back up? Or do you want us to keep staring at these loaded tater tots?
Well, oh yeah, sorry. I'm trying to make the loaded tots in my back.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to finish right now. All right.
Oh.
I guess that's it. Before we end the show, we're only doing this show to raise awareness for our pals in prison now for 4 years, victims of the January 6th peaceful protest crackdown by the FBI and your tyrannical government. Nicholas Oakes and Nick DiCarlo, two correspondents from Murder the Media, went to the Capitol to cover it and were arrested and charged with misdemeanors. Had the FBI raid one of their houses, point guns at children, and them and their roommates, all for a misdemeanor at the time, and arrested the other one at an airport on his way back home to his pregnant wife. They're now both in prison serving 4 years for covering, not even participating in, but covering a peaceful protest at the Capitol on January 6th. So if you can find it in your hearts to donate to their Give, Send, Go accounts, we'll post the details up on that. In this outro right here, we will see you again Friday, 7 o'clock. Or was it? No, today's Friday. Oh, I won't see you Sunday at 7 because, don't laugh, I'm going to a Super Bowl party, but only so my children can play with the other children that are there. I probably won't be watching the game. So, but we will replace that show that was going to happen on Sunday on Monday, right? Stover, that sound good to you?
Absolutely.
So we'll see y'all again Monday at 7. Here's that fundraiser coming up. Pay close attention to it. And if you need to pause the screen to write down the information, go ahead. But we're out of here. We will see y'all Monday, 7 o'clock, unless stuff goes wrong. Adios, amigos.